"I'm waiting, human. Hit me with your spray," said the muddy alien girl. Michael Thorne wiped the sweat from his brow as he adjusted the pressure settings on his industrial-grade cleaning hose. The scorching binary suns of Proxima Station beat down mercilessly on his broad shoulders as he methodically washed his beloved spacecraft, the Star Chaser, a compact but reliable vessel that had been his home for the past 3 years. His worn stealth suit, missing its helmet and showing signs of combat wear, clung to his muscular frame. The semi-rusted armor panels reflected dull copper highlights under the harsh sunlight. His thick brown beard and mustache were matted with perspiration, and his grown-out brown hair stuck to his neck in untidy clumps. "Come on, you stubborn bastard," he muttered, attacking a particularly resistant patch of space grime with the high-pressure spray. The powerful jet of water cut through the accumulated debris like a laser through butter, revealing the pristine hull beneath. That's when he heard it, a soft, melodious voice behind him. "Excuse me, human male?" Michael spun around instinctively, keeping his finger on the hose trigger. What he saw made him forget to breathe for a moment. Standing before him was quite possibly the most striking alien female he'd ever encountered. Her silver skin seemed to shimmer even under the thick coating of reddish-brown mud that covered her from head to toe. Long, straight white hair, matted with dirt, framed a face that somehow managed to look both exotic and eerily human-like. She wore what appeared to be a futuristic bikini-style outfit. Though it was so caked in mud, it was hard to tell its original color. "I couldn't help but notice your cleaning equipment," she said, gesturing toward his hose. Her voice carried an otherworldly lilt that sent pleasant shivers down his spine. "I find myself in quite the predicament, as you can see." She spread her arms, drawing attention to her mud-covered form. "Would you be willing to assist me?" Michael's throat felt suddenly dry. "You want me to hit me with your spray," she said with surprising enthusiasm, then added more demurely, "Please?" He hesitated, his grip tightening on the hose. "Are you sure? The pressure's pretty high." "I can handle it," she assured him with a confident smile that made his heart skip a beat. "I'm waiting, human male." Michael adjusted the pressure to its lowest setting and, with considerable trepidation, directed the spray toward her feet first. The alien woman let out a delighted laugh as the cool water began washing away the mud. "Higher," she encouraged. "Don't worry about being gentle." He gradually moved the spray upward, watching as layers of mud sloughed away to reveal more of her silvery skin. Everything was going fine until... "Oh!" she gasped as the powerful jet of water caught the top portion of her outfit, dislodging it completely. She quickly crossed her arms over her chest, her silver skin flushing a fascinating shade of rose gold. Michael immediately averted his eyes and killed the water flow. "I'm so sorry. Here, let me..." He quickly retrieved the garment from where it had landed nearby, carefully keeping his gaze fixed on the ground as he held it out to her. "Thank you," she murmured, accepting it with one hand while maintaining her modest pose with the other. "I'm Bia, by the way. Bia Starling." "Michael Thorne," he managed, still studying his boots with great interest. "And again, I'm really sorry about that." "Don't be," she said, and he could hear the smile in her voice. "Sometimes the most interesting relationships start with a bit of awkwardness, don't you think?" Finally daring to look up, Michael found her fully decent again, though her outfit was now clinging to her form in a way that wasn't helping his concentration. She was watching him with an expression that mixed amusement with something else, something that made his pulse quicken. "I suppose they do," he agreed, suddenly very aware that this encounter might be the beginning of something far more interesting than a simple spacecraft washing. The twin suns had begun their descent toward the horizon, painting Proxima Station's sky in brilliant shades of amber and rose. Michael found himself still at the spacecraft washing station, though his ship had been spotless for the past hour. He and Bia sat on a maintenance bench, sharing stories and stealing glances at each other. "So you're telling me humans actually enjoy getting wet?" Bia asked, fascinated by the concept. Her silver skin had dried to a mesmerizing sheen, and her white hair now fell in soft waves around her shoulders. "Just for fun?" Michael chuckled, running a hand through his beard. "Haven't you heard of swimming or hot springs?" "Oh, we have similar concept," she replied, leaning slightly closer. "But for my species, getting wet is usually more intimate." Her rose gold blush returned, making Michael's heart race. "Is that why you asked me to spray you?" he teased, immediately regretting his boldness, but Bia's eyes sparkled with mischief. Perhaps I had multiple motivations. She stretched languorously, her still damp outfit clinging to her curves. You know, on my world, when someone helps clean you, it's considered a gesture of deep trust and potential courtship. Michael nearly choked on his breath. You're joking? Not at all, she purred, turning to face him fully. In fact, I'm quite serious about our customs, and very serious about you, Michael Thorne. The air between them crackled with electric tension. Michael found himself drawn into her otherworldly eyes, which seemed to shift color, like the aurora borealis. Tell me more about human courtship, Bia suggested, her fingers brushing against his arm. I find your species fascinating, so passionate, so physical. Michael cleared his throat, trying to maintain his composure. Well, it usually starts with getting to know each other, sharing meals, talking, spending time together. Like we're doing now? Her smile was positively radiant. Yeah, he managed, his voice rougher than usual. Like this. Bia's hand found his, her touch sending sparks through his entire body. And then what happens? Before Michael could respond, the station's evening chimes rang out, signaling the approach of night cycle. The maintenance area's lights began to automatically dim. I should probably go, Bia said, though she made no move to leave. Unless, Michael's heart thundered in his chest. Unless you'd like to continue this conversation somewhere more private? Perhaps over that human custom of sharing a meal? Michael stood, helping her to her feet. My ship has a decent galley. I make a mean space chili. Spicy food? Bia's eyes lit up. Another human passion I'm eager to experience. They made their way to the Star Chaser, their hands still linked. Inside, the ship's ambient lighting created an intimate atmosphere. Michael prepared their meal while Bia explored the compact but comfortable living space. It's so you, she commented, running her fingers along the worn but well-maintained surfaces. Strong, practical, with hidden depths. Hours passed like minutes as they shared the meal and more stories. Bia was fascinated by Earth's oceans, while Michael found himself enthralled by tales of her crystalline homeworld. The conversation flowed as naturally as stardust in zero gravity. As the night cycle deepened, their bodies drew closer, the magnetic pull between them impossible to resist. Bia's silver skin seemed to glow in the ship's soft lighting, and Michael couldn't remember ever feeling so completely captivated by another being. In my culture, Bia whispered, her face inches from his, when two people feel this kind of connection, they don't fight it. They embrace it, celebrate it, let it guide them wherever it leads. Michael's hand cupped her cheek, marveling at the silken texture of her skin. And where do you think this is leading? Her answer was to press herself against him, her lips finding his in a kiss that felt like touching a live wire. The sensation was electric, alien yet perfectly natural, as if their species had evolved across the galaxy specifically for this moment. What followed was a night of discovery, passion, and connection that transcended their biological differences. Their joining was as natural as gravity, as inevitable as the fusion of stars, and as beautiful as the birth of a nebula. In the artificial dawn of the station's morning cycle, they lay entwined in Michael's bed, their bodies still humming with residual energy. Bia traced patterns on his chest while he played with her starlight-colored hair. I've never experienced anything like that, she murmured. Human passion is extraordinary. Michael kissed her forehead, breathing in her exotic scent that reminded him of stardust and alien flowers. You're extraordinary. This isn't just a one-time thing for me, Bia said, propping herself up to look into his eyes. My people, when we choose a mate, we choose for life. Instead of feeling scared by this declaration, Michael felt a profound sense of rightness. Good thing I'm not going anywhere then. The following week aboard the Star Chaser brought a whirlwind of cultural discoveries and passionate moments between Michael and Bia. They were lounging in the ship's observation dome, watching the dance of distant stars when the emergency comm system crackled to life. Mayday, Mayday, this is the research vessel Aurora. We're under attack by... The transmission cut off in a burst of static. Michael jumped to his feet, already moving toward the cockpit. Those coordinates, they're in the Crimson Nebula. That's deep in restricted space, Bia said, following close behind. Her silver skin rippled with concern. The radiation levels there are lethal to most species. But not to your people, Nishane? Michael noted, remembering their earlier conversations about her species' remarkable resilience. He began firing up the engines. Bia's aurora-like eyes widened. Michael, you can't possibly… Those people need help, he interrupted, his jaw set with determination. And my stealth suit can handle the radiation for short periods. By the stars, you humans are incredible, Bia breathed, watching him work. So willing to risk everything for strangers. She placed her hand over his on the control panel. Then we go together. My biology can protect you if the suit fails. The Star Chaser rocketed through space, its enhanced engines purring like a well-fed cat. During the journey, Bia explained more about her people's customs regarding partnership. When we bond with someone, she said, adjusting the navigation controls, our bodies actually begin to synchronize on a molecular level. See, it's why I can share my radiation resistance with you now. Michael raised an eyebrow. Is that why I've been feeling stronger since we've been together? And why I've been experiencing such intense human emotions? She replied with a sultry smile. Your passion is literally becoming part of me. Their conversation was interrupted by the ship's proximity alerts. The Aurora came into view, a sleek research vessel dead in space, its hull scarred by weapon fire. 3 predatory-looking ships circled it like vultures. Pirate, Michael growled, using the nebula as cover for their raids. They're not expecting anyone to be crazy enough to come to the rescue, Bia added, her fingers dancing over the tactical display. Typical human behavior, charging in against impossible odds. It's absolutely magnificent. Michael grinned. Want to show these bastards what happens when human ingenuity meets alien superiority? Thought you'd never ask, my brave human male. What followed was a masterclass in partnership. Michael's expert piloting and Bia's intimate knowledge of nebula dynamics allowed them to use the radiation clouds as cover. The Star Chaser struck like lightning, its weapons finding weak points that only Bia's enhanced vision could detect. 2 pirate ships exploded in spectacular fashion. The third turned tail and fled, leaving the Aurora's crew amazed at their unlikely saviors. After securing the research vessel and helping with emergency repairs, Michael and Bia returned to their ship, high on adrenaline and success. The moment the airlock sealed behind them, they were in each other's arms, the thrill of battle transforming into a different kind of excitement. The way you handled those controls, Bia purred, running her fingers through his beard. So commanding, so precise. The way you calculated those firing solutions, Michael responded, his hands tracing the curves of her silver skin. So brilliant, so deadly. Their passion ignited like a supernova, more intense than ever before. The molecular bonding Bia had mentioned seemed to heighten every sensation, every touch, every moment of connection between them. Later, as they lay wrapped in each other's arms, the ship's systems humming softly around them, Bia made a surprising confession. I should tell you something, she whispered against his chest. Remember how I said our bodies synchronize? Well, there's more to it than that. When the synchronization is complete, it can lead to creation. Michael propped himself up on an elbow, looking into her color-shifting eyes. Creation? You mean… Yes, she smiled, placing his hand on her abdomen. My people can only conceive with partners we're truly bonded with. And I've never been more bonded with anyone than I am with you. Instead of panic, Michael felt a surge of joy and pride. So, our little rescue mission today was our first family adventure, Bia finished, her skin glowing with happiness. Are you ready for that kind of challenge, my brave human? Michael pulled her closer, his heart full of love and wonder. With you? I'm ready for anything. The Star Chaser's medical bay hummed softly as Michael studied the holographic readout of Bia's unique physiology. Her silver skin glowed with an inner light that seemed brighter since their discovery of the pregnancy, making her even more breathtaking. Your cellular structure is actually adapting to accommodate human DNA, he marveled, watching the display. It's incredible. Bia stretched languorously on the examination table. My people are natural adapters. It's how we've survived in the harshest environments. Though I must say, she added with a playful smirk, adapting to human passion has been my favorite challenge yet. Before Michael could respond, The ship's proximity alarm blared. The tactical display showed multiple vessels emerging from hyperspace. The escaped pirate ship had returned with reinforcements. 7 ship, Michael growled, already moving toward the cockpit. They must really want revenge. Or they've realized what they could gain by capturing a human-alien hybrid child, Bia said grimly, following close behind. Her protective instincts were already heightening, another adaptation of her species. The lead pirate vessel broadcast across all frequencies. Surrender the female and her offspring, human, and we might let you live. Michael's hands tightened on the controls. Like hell. Such delightfully crude human expressions, Bia purred, powering up the weapon systems. Shall we show them why it's unwise to threaten our family? The Star Chaser's engines roared to life, but instead of fleeing, Michael executed a complex maneuver that brought them straight toward the pirate fleet. The enemy ships scattered, clearly not expecting such aggressive tactics. Remember what we learned about molecular synchronization? Bia's fingers danced across the tactical console. Well, it works with machines too. Our bond is actually enhancing the ship's capabilities. Michael grinned as he felt the truth of her words. The Star Chaser responded to their combined control with unprecedented precision, as if the ship itself had become an extension of their shared consciousness. The battle that followed was unlike anything in known space. The Star Chaser moved with impossible grace, its weapons finding weak points that shouldn't have been visible. Bia's alien insights combined with Michael's human intuition created a fighting style that the pirates couldn't predict or counter. Your species' warrior spirit is magnificent, Bia breathed, watching Michael execute a particularly daring maneuver. So fierce, so protective. And your species' adaptability is sexy as hell, Michael replied, admiring how she calculated firing solutions faster than any computer. We make a pretty good team. 3 pirate ships erupted in flames. 2 more suffered critical systems failures. The remaining 2 turned to flee, but Bia had other plans. They'll just keep coming unless we end this now, she said, her aurora eyes gleaming. I'm detecting a weakness in their shield harmonics. If we time it right, Michael understood immediately. Like our first meeting, hit them with the right spray at the right moment. Bia's laugh was both delighted and dangerous. My clever human male, always knowing exactly what I need. Their synchronized attack struck the fleeing ships with surgical precision, disrupting their shield frequencies and leaving them dead in space. Within minutes, the local authorities arrived to arrest the surviving pirates. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Michael and Bia found themselves drawn together in the cockpit, their bodies humming with residual energy and shared triumph. You know, Bia murmured, pressing against him. My people believe that protecting one's mate and offspring is the highest form of courtship. Is that why you look even more beautiful right now? Michael asked, his hands tracing the curves of her glowing skin. Their passionate celebration was interrupted by an incoming transmission from Bia's homeworld. The crystalline faces of her people's elders appeared on the screen, their expressions unreadable. Bia, Starling, the lead elder intoned, we have detected the unique energy signature of your hybrid offspring. This is unprecedented. Michael stepped forward, standing proudly beside his mate. If you're here to object... Object? The elder's crystalline features shifted in what might have been amusement. We are here to celebrate. Humans have long fascinated our people, but none have ever achieved such perfect biological harmony with us. Your child represents the future we have long sought. Bia beamed, her skin pulsing with joy. Then you'll help us prepare for the birth? Better, another elder said. We will help you establish the first human crystalline embassy. Your union proves our species are compatible in ways we never imagined. The child you carry will be a bridge between our peoples. After the transmission ended, Michael pulled Bia close. Looks like our little accident with the cleaning hose led to some pretty big changes in the galaxy. Speaking of which, Bia said with a mischievous glint in her eye, I could use another spray down. All this excitement has left me feeling rather dirty. News of the successful human crystalline hybrid spread through the galaxy like wildfire. The Star Chaser's communication system was flooded with messages from various species, ranging from congratulatory to concerning. Another request for a genetic sample, Michael sighed, scrolling through the messages, this time from the Andromedian Science Council. Bia lounged in the co-pilot seat, her growing belly giving off a subtle silvery glow. The Andromedians can't even reproduce with their own subspecies. Their interest is purely academic. Unlike the Venerians, Michael growled, pulling up another message. They're offering to protect us from unwanted attention, for a price. Yes, the Venerians. Bia's Aurora eyes flickered with amusement. Always trying to monopolize interspecies relations. They're just jealous that humans achieved with one accidental hosting what they couldn't accomplish in centuries of genetic manipulation. The ship's sensors suddenly detected multiple vessels dropping out of hyperspace. The tactical display showed an impressive array of diplomatic ships from various races. Well, Michael said, straightening his collar, looks like the galaxy's coming to us. The first transmission came from an elegant vessel decorated with bioluminescent patterns. This is High Matriarch Ilara of the Luminian Collective. We request an audience with the human crystalline pair. Before they could respond, another ship broadcasts. Archdirector Krell of the Mechanoid Confederation. Your biological compatibility breakthrough cannot be ignored. More transmissions followed, each race eager to understand how a simple encounter at a spacecraft washing station had led to what many were calling the most significant xenobiological event in recent history. Should we receive them? Michael asked, his hand hovering over the communications panel. Bia's skin rippled with thoughtful patterns. My people believe in facing challenges directly. Besides, she added with a sultry smile, I want the galaxy to see exactly what made me choose a human mate. They arranged to meet the various representatives aboard a neutral station. As they prepared, Bia helped Michael into a formal diplomatic uniform, her touch lingering more than necessary. You clean up nicely, my rugged human, she purred, adjusting his collar. Though I must admit, I prefer you in that worn stealth suit, holding that powerful hose. Michael pulled her close, his beard brushing against her sensitive neck. Behave yourself, Ambassador, and we have a galaxy to impress. The diplomatic gathering was a spectacle of diverse alien species, each trying to understand the secret of their successful pairing. The Luminians glowed with curiosity, the Mechanoids took constant readings, and the Venerians watched with barely concealed envy. Tella, High Matriarch Ilara asked, her bioluminescent patterns shifting with interest. How did you overcome the typical biological barriers between species? Michael and Bia exchanged knowing looks. We didn't try to overcome anything, Michael explained. We just connected. Impossible, a Venerian diplomat interjected. Interspecies reproduction requires careful genetic manipulation, controlled conditions. Or perhaps, Bia cut in, her voice carrying a hint of challenge. It requires something your species has forgotten. The ability to embrace natural passion, to let biology find its own path. The gathering erupted in excited discussions. The Mechanoid's analytical circuits nearly overloaded trying to process the concept of unplanned success. The Luminians' glow intensified with revelation. High Matriarch Ilara approached them privately. We've been studying humans for generations, fascinated by their adaptability, their capacity for connection. But we never imagined... That's the problem, Michael said, his arm protectively around Bia. Everyone's been studying humans instead of simply getting to know us. The diplomatic session extended into a celebration when Bia's belly suddenly emanated a brilliant pulse of light, visible even through her ceremonial robes. The gathered species watched in awe as the glow formed patterns that combined crystalline symmetry with distinctly human characteristics. By the cosmic core, Archdirector Krell exclaimed, the child is already displaying both species' traits. The event transformed from a diplomatic meeting into a celebration of possibility. Even the Venerians had to admit that the unplanned union had achieved something remarkable. Later, back aboard the Star Chaser, Michael and Bia reflected on the day's events. You know what this means? Bia said, her skin glowing with contentment. Our little cleaning accident might have just changed the course of galactic society. Speaking of cleaning, Michael replied with a roguish grin, all that diplomatic posturing has left me feeling rather dusty. Care to join me in the shower chamber? Bia's eyes sparkled with desire. Always ready for another spray down with my favorite human male. Their laughter echoed through the ship as they celebrated their love, a love that had begun with a simple request for help and had evolved into something that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of connection, compatibility, and the power of natural attraction. The Star Chaser sliced through the darkness of space, its enhanced stealth systems operating at maximum capacity. Michael had modified the ship's signature masking technology, incorporating elements of crystalline camouflage techniques that Bia had shared with him. "Another tracking probe," Bia announced from the sensor station, her pregnant belly now prominently glowing with swirling patterns of silver and gold. "The Venerians are getting persistent." Michael adjusted their course, leading the probe into a debris field where its signals would be scrambled. "They're not the only ones. I've counted surveillance devices from at least 6 different species in the past week." "Can you blame them?" Bia stretched languorously, her silver skin shimmering with maternal radiance. "Our child represents everything they thought impossible. A natural bridge between species, conceived through pure attraction rather than laboratory manipulation." The ship's proximity alarm suddenly chimed, not a warning but a friendly signal. A massive crystalline vessel emerged from hyperspace, its facetted surface reflecting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. "The Guardian," Bia breathed, recognizing her people's most advanced protective ship. "They're right on schedule." The vessel's commander, High Protector Rollin, appeared on their view screen. His crystalline features held both warmth and steel. "The sanctuary is prepared. We've established a security corridor through the Prismatic Nebula." Michael nodded appreciatively. The Prismatic Nebula was notorious for its complex radiation patterns, perfect for hiding from prying eyes, and naturally hospitable to crystalline biology. "Your timing is perfect," Bia said, running her hands over her luminous belly. "The little one's energy signature is getting harder to mask." As they followed the Guardian into the nebula, Michael couldn't help but admire how the cosmic gases painted Bia's silver skin with rainbow hues. Even now, months after their first meeting, she could still take his breath away. "You're staring again, my passionate human," she teased, her aurora eyes twinkling. "Can't help it," he grinned, engaging the autopilot. "You're glowing more beautifully than this entire nebula." Their moment was interrupted by a transmission from the Guardian. "Multiple vessels detected attempting to follow our trajectory, implementing countermeasures." The massive crystalline ship released a cloud of prismatic particles that merged with the nebula's natural phenomena, creating a maze of false energy signatures. Any pursuing vessels would find themselves chasing dozens of phantom signals. "Impressive," Michael whistled. "Your people don't mess around with security." "We protect our own," Bia said proudly. "And you, my bold human male, are now part of our collective." They emerged from the particle cloud into a hidden pocket of calm space. A stunning space station floated before them, its design a perfect fusion of crystalline architecture and human engineering principles. "Welcome to Haven Prime," High Protector Raylan announced, the first facility specifically designed for human crystalline coexistence. As they docked, Michael noticed subtle details that showed how much thought had gone into making both species comfortable. The atmospheric pressure, gravity, and temperature were perfectly calibrated. Even the lighting struck a balance between human visibility needs and crystalline energy absorption requirements. Their private quarters were equally thoughtful in design. The bed was equipped with both traditional human comfort features and crystalline energy-conducting surfaces. The bathroom included both water-based facilities and the crystalline cleansing chambers Bia's people preferred. "Look," Bia called from the window. "They even installed cleaning stations with high-pressure sprayers." Michael wrapped his arms around her from behind, his beard tickling her neck. "Bringing back memories?" The best kind," she purred, turning in his embrace. Who knew getting sprayed down by a rugged human would lead to all this? Their passionate reunion was briefly interrupted by the station's medical officer, Dr. Solara, a female crystalline specialist in xenobiology. She conducted a brief examination of Bia, her crystalline hands emanating diagnostic energies. "Fascinating," she murmured. "The child's energy pattern shows perfect harmony between human and crystalline frequencies. This level of natural synchronization should have been impossible." "Humans have a way of making the impossible happen," Bia said proudly, squeezing Michael's hand. "Indeed," Dr. Solara agreed. "Your human's genetic structure is actually adapting to match crystalline patterns while maintaining its core human characteristics. It's as if your bodies are teaching each other new ways to exist." After the doctor left, Michael and Bia stood at their quarters window, watching the nebula's colors dance across the void. The Star Chaser rested in its special dock nearby, its modified hull now partially crystalline in nature, much like its captain. "Our child will be born into a new era," Bea mused, guiding Michael's hand to feel the energetic pulses from her belly. One where species don't just coexist, but truly blend together. All because you decided to get dirty and ask for a spray down, Michael chuckled, pulling her closer. Speaking of which, Bea's eyes gleamed mischievously. Care to help me test out those new cleaning stations? For old time's sake? The peaceful routine at Haven Prime shattered when the station's deep space sensors detected multiple vessels emerging from quantum space. The Venerian fleet had somehow traced their energy signature through the prismatic nebula. 12 warships, Michael announced, studying the tactical display in Haven's command center. His modified stealth suit, now integrated with crystalline technology, hummed with defensive energy. They're using some kind of quantum resonance to track the baby's unique signature. Bea stood beside him, her pregnant belly pulsing with intense light. The child within seemed to sense the danger, its energy patterns becoming more erratic. They won't stop until they have what they want, the secret to our compatibility. High Protector Raylan's crystalline features hardened as he assessed the situation. The Guardian can match 3 of their vessels, but the others... We'll have to deal with us, Michael finished, a dangerous gleam in his eyes. And the Star Chaser isn't just a transport anymore. The modifications they'd made to his ship had transformed it into a unique hybrid of human ingenuity and crystalline power. Like its captain and his mate, the vessel represented the perfect fusion of both species' strengths. You're not going out there without me, Bea declared, her aurora eyes flashing with determination. But the baby... Michael started to protest. Is precisely why I need to be there, she cut him off. Our child's energy signature responds to both of us. Together, we might be able to use it to our advantage. Dr. Solera stepped forward, her diagnostic crystals glowing. She's right. The child's hybrid nature is creating quantum harmonics we've never seen before. In the right circumstances, those harmonics could be weaponized. The Venerian fleet's commander appeared on the main screen, his genetically perfect features twisted in a sneer. Surrender the hybrid carriers and we'll allow the station to survive. Michael's response was to cut the transmission. Ready to show these bastards what happens when they threaten our family? Bea's answering smile was fierce and beautiful. Always, my warrior. The Star Chaser launched from Haven's specialized dock, its hull now a seamless blend of human metals and living crystal. The Guardian took up a defensive position around the station, while Michael piloted their ship directly toward the enemy fleet. They're laughing at us, Bea reported, monitoring the enemy's communications. One small ship against their fleet? Let them laugh, Michael growled, his hands steady on the controls. They don't understand what we've become. As they approached the Venerian ships, Bea began channeling her energy into the ship's systems. The child's quantum signature synchronized with their combined consciousness, creating a cascade effect throughout the vessel. The first Venerian ship fired, its plasma torpedoes streaking through space, only to pass harmlessly through what appeared to be a ghost image of the Star Chaser. Quantum displacement, Bea explained, her skin glowing with power, our child's gift to us. Michael grinned as he executed a series of impossible maneuvers, the ship responding to their thoughts as much as his physical control. Time to return their hospitality. The Star Chaser's weapons had been modified to channel the same quantum harmonics as their child. Each hit caused the Venerian ship's perfectly engineered systems to desynchronize, their advanced technology turning against them. Impossible, the Venerian commander broadcast. No hybrid coupling should be capable of this level of integration. That's your problem, Michael transmitted back. You're so focused on capability that you've forgotten about compatibility. The battle transformed into a dance of quantum energies, with the Star Chaser weaving between enemy ships like a phantom. Each pass left another vessel drifting, its system scrambled by the hybrid energy signatures. In the midst of the chaos, Bea suddenly gasped, her hands moving to her belly. Michael, the baby. He was at her side instantly, worry etched on his features. But when he saw her expression, he relaxed. She was smiling. It's responding to our unity, she explained, guiding his hand to feel the powerful pulses. Our child knows we're protecting it. It's helping. The remaining Venerian ships began to retreat, their commander's final transmission filled with frustrated awe. How? How did mere physical attraction lead to such power? Bea's answer was simple. Because it wasn't mere attraction, it was natural, pure, something your engineered perfection will never understand. As they watched the enemy fleet flee, Michael pulled Bia into his arms, feeling the energetic pulses of their child between them. You know, for someone who started out just asking for a spray down, you've turned my life into quite an adventure. She purred, her silver skin glowing with post-battle excitement. Speaking of which, that quantum displacement took a lot of energy. I could use a nice, cool spray to help me recover. The aftermath of the battle left Haven Prime buzzing with energy, but none could match the intensity radiating from Bia's body. The quantum harmonics from the fight had accelerated her labor process, and the medical bay quickly transformed into a fusion of human and crystalline birthing technologies. The child's energy signature is amplifying, Dr. Solera announced, her crystalline hands hovering over Bia's glowing form. The battle seems to have awakened something primal in its genetic makeup. Michael held Bia's hand, marveling at how her silver skin now pulsed with waves of iridescent light. "You're doing amazing, my warrior queen." "Of course I am," Bia managed through gritted teeth, her aurora eyes flashing with determination. "I'm carrying the first natural, human crystalline hybrid. Our son isn't going to make this easy." The medical bay's systems fluctuated as the baby's quantum signature grew stronger. Crystalline surfaces throughout the room began resonating in harmony with Bia's contractions, while human medical equipment displayed readings that defied conventional understanding. High Protector Raylan observed from a respectful distance, his crystalline features showing rare emotion. The child's energy, it's unlike anything in our records. A perfect blend of human resilience and crystalline power. "Just like his parents," Michael said proudly, wincing slightly as Bia's grip tightened with another contraction. "Speaking of which," she gasped, managing a mischievous smile despite her pain, "remember when all I wanted was a spray down from your hose?" Michael laughed, pressing his forehead to hers. "Best cleaning job I ever did." The moment was interrupted by a surge of energy that rippled through the medical bay. The child's quantum signature peaked, causing the room's crystals to sing in harmonic resonance. "It's time, Doctor," Solera announced, her diagnostic crystals pulsing rapidly. What followed was a birth unlike any witnessed in the galaxy's history. The merging of human and crystalline biological process created a spectacular light show that bathed Haven Prime in prismatic waves of energy. The station's systems recorded quantum fluctuations that would keep scientists busy for decades. Finally, after what seemed like both an eternity and an instant, a new cry echoed through the medical bay. Not quite human, not quite crystalline, but perfect in its uniqueness. "He's beautiful," Michael breathed, staring in wonder at their son. The baby boy had Michael's strong features softened by Bia's ethereal beauty. His skin shifted between human tones and crystalline silver, and his eyes held the same aurora-like quality as his mother's. A dusting of crystal-like formations along his hairline caught the light like tiny stars. "Nixar," Bia whispered, touching their son's cheek. "In my people's ancient tongue, it means bridge between stars." "Nixar Thorn," Michael tested the name, feeling its power. "Perfect." The baby responded to his name with a pulse of energy that made every crystal in the room glow. Dr. Solera's instruments went wild trying to analyze the phenomenon. "Fascinating," she murmured. "He's already showing control over quantum harmonics." The combination of human adaptability and crystalline energy manipulation has created something entirely new. High Protector Raylan stepped forward, his crystalline form radiating approval. "This child represents more than just a bridge between our species. He represents the future of both." As if understanding the gravity of the moment, baby Nixar reached out with both hands, one touching Michael's chest, the other touching Bia's. Where he touched, their bodies resonated with shared energy, strengthening the bond between them. "He's completing the circuit," Dr. Solera explained, watching in amazement. "The quantum connection you share, he's making it permanent." Michael felt the change immediately, a deepening of his connection to both Bia and their son, as if their very atoms were singing the same song. Bia's eyes widened as she felt it too, her silver skin glowing with renewed vigor. "Now, that's what I call a family bond," she said, pulling Michael down for a kiss while cradling their son between them. The moment was interrupted by an urgent transmission from the Guardian. Multiple ships dropping out of quantum space. But not hostile this time. They're celebrating? The viewing screen showed vessels from dozens of species arriving at Haven Prime, all broadcasting messages of joy and congratulation. The birth of humanity's first natural hybrid child had become a galactic celebration. "Looks like our little cleaning accident is going to change everything," Michael mused, watching the impromptu parade of ships through the medical bay's window. Bia adjusted their son in her arms, her eyes twinkling with familiar mischief. "Speaking of cleaning, I think someone needs his first bath. Care to help me with that, my skilled human male?" 1 year after Nixar's birth, the Star Chaser had become a symbol of hope across the galaxy. The ship's hybrid systems, like its occupants, represented the perfect fusion of human and crystalline technology. Michael stood at the helm, his modified stealth suit now permanently bonded with crystalline elements that pulsed in sync with his family's energy signature. "The Andromedian delegation is ready to receive us," Bia announced from her station, her silver skin glowing with maternal radiance. Baby Nixar sat in a specially designed carrier beside her, his aurora eyes tracking the quantum streams that only he could see. "Another success story in the making," Michael smiled, setting their approach vector. "Who would have thought that washing my ship would lead to revolutionizing galactic society?" The past year had transformed them into unofficial ambassadors of natural interspecies relationships. Their diplomatic missions weren't just about politics. They were living proof that love could transcend biological barriers. The Star Chaser's quantum-enhanced sensors detected unusual energy patterns ahead. "Look at that," Bia breathed, pointing to the display. "The Andromedians have prepared a welcome ceremony using crystalline harmonics." "They're learning," Michael observed proudly. "Remember when they thought genetic manipulation was the only way forward?" Nixar burbled happily, sending out pulses of energy that made the ship's systems sing. At 1 year old, he was already showing remarkable control over his hybrid abilities. His very existence had sparked a renaissance in interspecies relations. As they approached the Andromedian capital station, Michael couldn't help but admire how Bia's diplomatic outfit, a stunning fusion of human and crystalline fashion, enhanced her natural beauty. She caught him staring and winked. "Focus on docking, my passionate human," she teased, "though I must say, that new crystalline growth in your beard is quite stimulating." The modifications to Michael's biology had continued to develop, creating subtle crystalline patterns throughout his body that resonated with Bio's energy. Their bond had grown stronger with each passing day, their physical and quantum connection deepening in ways that defied scientific explanation. The Andromedian Welcoming Committee included their top geneticists and relationship specialists. They watched in fascination as the family disembarked, their instruments struggling to analyze the complex quantum harmonics that flowed between the three of them. "Welcome, ambassadors of natural union," the Andromedian High Counselor greeted them. "Your success has inspired our people to explore new paths of connection." The ceremony that followed celebrated the dozens of new natural partnerships that had formed among the Andromedians. Inspired by Michael and Bia's example, each couple had found their own unique way to bridge their biological differences through genuine attraction and emotional bonds. Later, in their private quarters, Michael and Bia watched their son playing with quantum energy streams, creating beautiful patterns in the air. Their family's influence had spread far beyond what either of them could have imagined. "The Venerians sent another apology," Bia mentioned, curling against Michael's chest. "They're dismantling their genetic manipulation programs in favor of natural compatibility research." "And to think," Michael chuckled, running his fingers through her starlight hair, "all this started because you needed a good cleaning." Best decision I ever made," she purred, her skin shimming with desire. "Though I must say I still enjoy a good spray down from my favorite human male." Their passionate embrace was interrupted by Nixar's delighted giggle as he created a miniature aurora between his hands. The sight filled them with pride and wonder. Their son was living proof that love could create miracles. "You know what the best part is?" Michael said, holding his family close. "We're just the beginning. Every new couple we inspire, every hybrid child born from natural love, they're all part of our legacy." "Speaking of legacy," Bia smiled mysteriously, guiding his hand to her abdomen. "How do you feel about expanding our diplomatic mission?" Michael's eyes widened as he felt the familiar quantum resonance. "You mean?" "Yes," she beamed. "Nixar is going to have a sister, and this time I won't need to get muddy to celebrate the news." Their laughter echoed through the quarters, joined by Nixar's happy burbles and the harmonic hum of their shared energy. The Star Chaser systems pulsed in response, the ship as much a part of their family as the child growing within Bia. As they prepared for their next diplomatic mission, Michael reflected on the incredible journey that had brought them here. A chance encounter at a spacecraft washing station had evolved into a love that was literally changing the galaxy. "Ready for our next adventure?" he asked, taking his place at the helm. Bia settled into her station, Nexar secure beside her, their future daughter's energy already adding new harmonics to their family's quantum symphony. "With you, my beloved human?" "Always." The Star Chaser leaped into quantum space, carrying within it the living proof that love knows no boundaries, not of species, not of biology, and certainly not of convention. Their story had become a beacon of hope, proving that sometimes the greatest miracles start with the simplest request. "Hit me with your spray." Indeed.